good one here between the Chicago Bears and the Kansas City Chiefs. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They'll start out here with the option left. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off play action, Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, it went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Back to throw, Fields. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And some room to maneuver. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The Chiefs had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
To try again after the sack. Mahomes is going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Fields. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rip, and they get off the field.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they can use something here on 3rd down. Fields now to throw. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. He's going to find his tight end, Gray, complete. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. He's got him in, complete. And that's a touchdown, but hold on, there is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. Able to find Gray here. And they're going to get this up to midfield. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now here's a throw that's complete, and he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Back to the air, Fields on 2nd down. He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. On the return, Hardy. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
On play action, it's Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. A throw right side taken in by the tight end Gray. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll try and run this one, line up the gut. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Mahomes to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Throwing now is Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Here's Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Fields on the sneak. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 1 yard is the gain. And that leads to a Chicago first down.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. On first down, it's Fields. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On first down, Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 27, Fields. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Herbert. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Fields hit, and the ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Second half starts with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Right back to Edwards-Helaire on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this pass caught by Gray. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really...
Walker hit and the ball is out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Touchdown! Isaiah Pacheco. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Okay, ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an... And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Mahomes gets it out quickly, and it's complete out wide. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. So on 4th down, Mahomes off. Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Walker. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Hardy set to return. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Around the NFL, third quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And the Jets have just scored to stretch their lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hurry, 70. Hurry, hurry.
Now Walker. Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chris Jones able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it. And he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Walker from the gun on third down. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that zero. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. Yards on the return that time, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this one is incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Walker now. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A handoff for Herbert. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
1st down, Walker. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And, that would get a wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go, here we go.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Here we go, start.
Walker looking to throw on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Chiefs, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.